Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a good morning. A little negative today. I only took one trade. It lost. I did have a second setup that I missed because I was helping people in a Facebook group. So that's my fault because I already told myself I was going to stop getting distracted, especially trying to help people while I'm trading. So that was just really my fault. It's all good though. That trade won, so I would have been back break even. I'm only trading 3 of my accounts right now. So yeah. Other one is still there. It's not blown or anything, but I probably could add my other account back, honestly, but I just don't all the way trust Rhythmic today with, between the outage that we had yesterday and just, yeah, I just don't trust it all the way. Honestly, it looks like today is going to be a slow day. Good morning, Rio. I guess I had 2 trades in the first 30 minutes, 2 setups, but that's not a lot. Honestly, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. So I guess we'll see, but yeah, I don't know. We will see. As long as I can end today positive, I don't really care. And as long as I don't have any rhythmic issues. But I'll start trading my 4th account again tomorrow. The account that I'm not trading today is the 25K that I started yesterday. Because of the rhythmic issues and them saying give them 24 hours. In the Discord, it specifically states avoid trading. Now, last night, people couldn't connect to Rhythmic except using the Hong Kong connection. Now, I was still able to connect regularly. However, it took like a long time for me to log into RTrader Pro. So, and that's not normal. So I don't really all the way trust it, if I'm being completely honest. So Yeah, that's why I'm just avoiding it. Yeah, so I'll just avoid it for that fourth account, and then we'll bring it back tomorrow because with all three of the accounts that I'm trading right now, they renew on the 1st, the 5th, and the 9th. So I'm okay if these lose because, if I lose them because of a rhythmic issue, because they all renew within the next week. But the account that just started yesterday, I don't want to lose that one. So that's why we'll just avoid that and just not deal. I'd rather be safe than sorry, honestly. So we'll just do that. And you guys will just see that come back tomorrow instead. I can't take any sales at the moment because there's a support level right here. In this particular support level, I don't take sales at. Some of them I do, but this one, absolutely not. All right, so we got that push there. So we're pushing back up, which is good. Okay. Because that would have been like some pretty heavy congestion there. We got the middle pivot level, the overnight high, my major level was there, the support level was there, the middle VWAP level. It was just a lot going on right there. So was still close above. Pre-market, you were down 1800, but you made it back. I love to hear it. Well, not the down 1800, but you made it back, so that's good. That's no easy feat at all. Do you prefer pre-market? I know some people do prefer pre-market or like overnight versus the New York session because it moves slower. For me, like slow movement. But I get it though. All right, no buy here. The overnight high is there. I don't want to take any buys. And to be honest with you, until we get away from like this congestion of levels here, I probably won't be trading very much just to be on the safe side. I'm pretty tired. I accidentally fell asleep so early last night and I woke up a few times. The last time I woke up was like 5 something and I couldn't go back to sleep till like 6:30. It's like worse than not getting enough sleep. It's like you get too much sleep, but it's all like jacked up. So I just feel icky. It's too slow. Yeah. Not a fan. And for me, like, if I wasn't such a night owl and I had good setups before the New York Open, I would go ahead and trade it. But the least number of hours I'm on the chart, to be honest with you, the better. Just being completely honest. It's like, part of it is a little bit of boredom. Like when the market's really slow, I can't take trades and stuff. So part of it is boredom. And the other part of it is I just know what my edge should be primarily in the first 2.5 hours. So if I can have a decent edge and make enough money when the market is moving the fastest and the most, why punish myself by looking at the market when it's much slower? That's also why I don't like trading other markets, and I just prefer the Nasdaq, because why? It just moves so slow that I just have no interest. Just not interested. But definitely, if you guys are trading Rhythmic accounts today, just be really careful. I think they're still working through the batch of accounts that were affected to put them back to Friday's balance. Or if you just started the account yesterday, put it back to the original balance. They haven't gotten through all of the accounts yet, I know for sure, because this morning somebody said that their accounts were still not back. And I'm pretty sure they're working through evals before PAs, because I haven't seen anyone say that their PAs came back yet. So if you were negatively affected, basically, even if you didn't trade during the outage, but you ended up with a negative day yesterday, you're going to be reset back, because there's no way for them to figure out who was affected and who wasn't. Like, so they just take the negative EODs and just fix them, which is cool. I think that because so many people are starting to record their screens and stuff and show proof, you know, a lot of times Rhythmic will say there's no outage, but, you know, because there's only a couple of people who can prove it, then they leave it at that. But it was pretty bad yesterday. Like, so many groups and discords were going insane yesterday. I was off the charts by the time it happened, so it's whatever, but just be careful. So I'll definitely bring my other account back and just wait till tomorrow to do that, though. After today, no more. Listen, don't even put yourself through it, Rio. It's not worth it. And like, I'm the type of person where if I'm going to do something, I look at like how consistent I can do it. Like, I know myself well enough to know if I can't consistently, listen, I hit my snooze button to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know if I try to start at 7 o'clock in the morning, it's not going to work for me. So I don't want to attempt to get into this habit, make decent money, and then over time, it just withers away. Like, no, I know I can consistently be on the charts for these 2.5 hours. If I'm super tired, I'll go lay down after the session. That's no problem. But yeah, I just know I can't be consistent with it. So I'm not even going to allow myself to do that at all. At all. That's gonna probably push up too fast for my liking. We'll see. Now, because I'm such a night owl, honestly, if I could trade during the agent session, I absolutely would. But it's a no thank you. All right, seller pressure came in with that one. But I don't break even with that anymore. Not on that particular trade. So we'll see what happens, but there wasn't enough volume for me to feel comfortable with that push in particular. So yeah. We're creating a double top, but I don't want to take that trade. It's a double top with seller pressure. I wanted a double top with buyer pressure for this counter trend. So yeah. Hopefully instead of reversing, we can like push up a little bit instead. We'll see. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We're pushing back towards this group, it looks like. Hopefully we can reject off of my minor level here at 97, push up and start trading up there. Like there's, besides this VWAP level, there's really nothing in between except the next VWAP level and the session high. So yeah, maybe we could trade up there. I did go back and look after yesterday's session. There were like 5 trades that I set out of, 2 for sure. I now know that one of them actually met my rules. I don't really know why I sat out of it. I don't know. I probably just being uncomfortable because of all the adjustments I had to make coming into this week. The second one, I wasn't quite sure, but after yesterday and after going through my back test data, cool. And then the other 3, I just wasn't all the way sure with, and I still kind of am not, because I didn't really want to look at my charts after the session yesterday. I just really need to look through just a couple of months of data, which shouldn't take long because I'm only looking for trades that the previous reversal bar reacted off of a support or resistance level and me trading going back towards it, because certain setups I need the volume to look a certain way and other setups I need it to look the opposite way. So it's gonna take me a minute to like get through all of that, if I'm being honest. So we'll see. But aside from that, I think when I looked, it was like 4 of them were full wins and 1 was a break even. So I guess yesterday wasn't as slow and all of that as I thought. But yeah. All right, because this is a lower low right here, I'm not taking this divergence. I would want it to be like, if there's a higher high and a higher high divergence that I'm going based off of, I need it to be a higher low in the middle. So because it's not, whatever reversal is going to happen, we're just going to let it happen, and then I'll be looking for the next trade. So I'm more so looking for the pullback buy to see if I want to get into that trade. I can say that even though it took a long time to log into Rhythmic this morning, the data lag has not been that bad. I did just see a flash up to 0.09 seconds, which is not cute. But the data lag has been pretty consistent this morning, so I do feel somewhat comfortable. But again, I just don't want to risk the account that I just started yesterday. It's not worth it. So what I'll probably do is I'll just flip a contract quickly on that account, because I'm not interested in the 1 day pass. So I know I'm gonna have to actually trade the 7 days for this account, so I'll just flip it today and just leave it at that. But I'll do that later. Do I think it'll go higher than Nasdaq? Probably, yeah. There's really not much up here. I mean, unless we hit this new high up here and just, not want to push higher, then, you know, I could see it coming back down. But if we can continue to push the resistance of the new high, you can see there's not much there at all. There's more down here than anything. You could see like a bunch of levels just kind of in congested areas, but not up here. So guess we'll see what happens. Put that back in the middle for you guys. All right, so now also, if we end up creating some kind of divergence before the new high, I can see it just pushing back down and not even testing the new high. So we'll see what happens though. Pretty sure I have to. This is the one thing that's just gonna like get to me, is having to look back at my cheat sheet all over again because of the changes. It sucks because I had the other rules like embedded in my brain and I rarely had to look down. But that's what happens when you're trying to perfect what you're trying to put together. 1750. If we push up from here, we actually might stall long enough if we stay in the same bar for a little bit longer. I promise, every time I say what I'm looking for, the opposite happens. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I used to... I hope this bar closes down. I don't want this bar to close up. It might. All right, so that just invalidated itself anyway, so that's good. However, I used to still take this, like if it invalidated, but it was a trade off the VWAP, I would still take it, but I don't know if I want to do that anymore. At least not for this setup. I don't. And also because the VWAP is going through the body instead of the like a wick of the entry bar. We'll see what happens. So it looks like it's wanting to reject off the VWAP and just push down instead. There you have it. Trade equals trade direction. So in this zone that I drilled back there, because of all these levels, I have another level that just entered this same little area. So if we push back down here, there's going to be quite a bit of congestion unless we push through it. Now, one of the levels did disappear, but there's another one there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 levels in there. With the help of Rhythmic, we were able to recover over 100,000 affected accounts yesterday. With that number in mind, there will still be some that may not be reset. It takes us time to manually fix them on our end. Never let you down in the past, so now is not the time to doubt us. Just takes time with the amount of new fabulous traders we've gotten. Your patience is crucial in a situation like this. Send a ticket to the help desk. Rhythmic outage, including account numbers. Only accounts that were traded yesterday and were affected by the outage. Yes, we check. That's not true. Only Rhythmic accounts. Do not trade, cancel, or remove accounts that have not been restored yet. So maybe they're just saying not to trade those, but you could trade your other accounts if you want. I'm still gonna keep that 4th account out. It's not worth it to me, but let's see. That is a lower low. We've come back to this magnetized group of levels. Okay, so here's the same situation as yesterday, right? Where the low of this candle is at 92, but the VWAP is at 91.83, which is not obviously an even number when it comes to the Nasdaq prices. So I'm gonna count this as it hitting the wick, and as the wick hitting the VWAP, and not trade going back towards it, just in case, because that would have caused me a loss yesterday. It wasn't the wick, it was like it closing right next to it for the bar to close on it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I don't have a lot of trades that look like this. Like most of the time it's literally going to hit the VWAP, so because of that, I just rather sit out of it. I don't want to risk it. I do not want to risk it. It's amazing. We just pushed off of this zone and just took off. That's almost 100 tick move from the bottom to the top. Good morning, Trenches. How are you? How's your trading going this morning? So I was at 1500 this morning and put a trade that dropped to my auto liquidation. It says I can't trade, only admin. Does this mean I'm done for the day, or you can go on your account? I'm positive $70. I didn't drop below 2,500. You were up 1,500 on a 25K account. Why didn't you just close the trade? I'm so confused. You passed it at that point. That's on you, buddy. You liquidated. Let's see what we do here. You're good. Trading is going bad though. No. Are you at least sticking to your rules? It's going bad, but you're sticking to your rules. That's way better than it going bad and you're just like going on tilt, not following your rules. Are you trying to make up for not being able to trade yesterday? What's up? The market has kind of been smooth today, honestly. Like, it's not a whole lot of consolidation. It's just sometimes the market is like too smooth because I'm looking for certain pullbacks, and if the market is not doing those pullbacks, well, I can't do nothing. Even the counter trend trades are not really setting up, so oh my geez. Yeah, no. I thought I missed that trade, but I didn't. I would have been mad if I did. Oh yeah, definitely did not miss it. I thought I missed that by the middle is a higher high, so I didn't. I feel better. I don't have the kids today. They're at their grandpa's house, but they will be here the next 2 days, so I'm gonna apologize today for any screaming and crying or anything else that you'll be hearing. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Oh wait, that's a... Okay. Okay. Or we could do that too. Didn't get filled, guys. It just took off. Took off on me. That was a great trade though. I was looking for that. There just was no just didn't pull back at all. And that sucks because the difference between the reversal bar and the first bar was exactly 0.03 seconds, and that was my lag time. So that's why I didn't get filled, and it sucks. It's all good. You didn't stick to your rules trying to make up for yesterday. I knew it. Somehow you had 2 bad fills, 1 delayed, so I hit it again. It filled me twice, and 1 was just way off, and I didn't want to accept the loss. So back to the $700 mark on Evals. Man. I think we talked about this. You use market orders, right? And since you use Trading, like, is there, I feel like I saw someone say, or maybe they're using Quantower. Is there a way for you to see like what kind of lag you're having? So at least you know ahead of time if you're gonna get a bad feel, because you use market orders, right? Are you serious? Oh, okay. Never mind. I was about to be mad. I thought this sale I missed because I'm so used to like my old rules, but I didn't miss it. So I feel better. I feel better. That yellow line up there is where my minor trend changed from a sell to a buy. But as you can see, we kept rejecting. We rejected initially and then rejected a second time. So we actually might be pushing down. Typically when that happens, it's going to just keep going that way. You'll look into it, but I don't see nothing telling me. And sometimes market, sometimes limit. I feel like, let me see if I can okay, wait a minute. Pretty sure I'm supposed to get into a buy here. So we're gonna do it. Oh, baby, let me tell you something. The This might be my last trade. I don't know if y'all saw how bad that just lagged, but that was not cute. At all. We might have to be done after this. That was actually scary. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't think I'm gonna trade anymore. And this is, yeah, I don't think I'm trading anymore. Actually, I'll trade Sim just because I do need to get the reps in, but that was not okay at all. At all. Like I saw the entry text on the screen, but there was nothing there. Like the orders weren't there, and yeah, this is why I didn't want to trade at all today. But I'll just actually. That just low key kind of made me mad. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, you know what? I don't even know at this point. I could have taken this reversal right here. It would have just broken even anyway. But yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. And I think, hold on, I want to go look at my, give me a second. If I miss a trade, it's whatever. I don't know. What setup was that? That was such a bad lag. I want to see something. What did that look like? It's on my body. Part of me didn't really like this trade all the way because we didn't really clear this level to take the buy. I would have felt more comfortable if the buy was like somewhere down here. But still, I just don't like the way that just felt though. That just made me really uncomfortable. But the reason why I'm not going to go sim is because these accounts don't really matter right now anyway. I'm going to purposely blow the first one on Friday, and I'm going to purposely blow the third one that's on the screen on Monday. So it's like I might as well just keep trading anyways, whatever. But that definitely was not okay at all. At all. Dang, I missed the subscriber. Sorry that I missed you, but welcome to the stream. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome, welcome. All right, I'm gonna look at why did I go against market structure? Because that's the way I trade. My setup. I take counter trend trades and I take trades that go with the trend. That's what I do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just like trades with the trend, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It just kind of depend. But that particular setup, I think the only problem that was with that is we went back into this zone, and again, if it was like down here, I'm pretty sure it would have worked out, but you win some, you lose some. That's it. I want to see. Yeah, that would have broken even too. All right. So I should only be down one trade instead of two today, but I missed that one. Helping those people in that Facebook group. But yeah, order flow, my actual overall bias is an uptrend right now. So even though the minor structure is showing a sell, no matter what my overall bias is, I still take buys and sells no matter what. Just depends on how it's setting up. But yeah, a lot of my counter trend trades are actually more accurate than the trades that are going in the direction of the trend. But like I said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It just is what it is. All right, let's move this up here. Consider these Evals sim because I don't want to trade my PAs today. Exactly. That's how you got to look at them. That's the only reason I'm going to continue to trade them. And that's also why I'm not trading the one that actually matters that I just started yesterday. These don't matter at all. Like, these accounts have just been my practice to trade, to develop my strategy while also trading with the rules of Apex. Yeah, I could have traded regular sim, but I don't spend very much on these accounts at all. And all of my accounts are at 80% off. So with 5 accounts, I'm only spending like maybe $120 a month or something like that. And as long as my accounts have been lasting now, they've been lasting pretty much the whole 3 weeks for the last couple of months for the most part, except maybe a couple of accounts. I really could just have 2 accounts, but whatever. All right. I'll look at the next buy, but this is a resistance level right here. I like have 2 levels that change my overall bias, right? Sometimes it hits that first level, but not the second one. So the first level will change the bias, but I don't trade in that way. It has to actually change on both. So this resistance level right here is just because that first level changed the bias to a downtrend, but it didn't change on the other one. So it creates a resistance level, which is fine, but I want to go check on oh, that's what I was looking at for you. Trenches. I could have sworn that I saw something regarding the lag. Now that I think about it, it could have been somebody talking about Quan Tower. So this thing Trenches says when you see a delay, reconnect to the server. No, they're basically doing all of this to like, first they say reconnect to the server, check your time sync. They're just talking about a bunch of different stuff, but I could have sworn that they had a lag timer where you could actually check it. There's like 2500 volume in this one candle that's trying to break this resistance level. And all the other information I'm looking at is for TradingView, not Trade-of-8. Alright, we didn't break it. Trenches, are you using the browser version of Trade-of-8 or the desktop app? This thing is basically saying that you'll get more laggy issues, like it'll be less stable if you're using the browser version, but that's all it's saying. Alright, we tried to break it, but we resisted pretty heavy off of it. Did I draw that circle there? I don't even remember doing that. So I don't want to take a buy going back towards that resistance level. That's a pretty heavy one. And depending on how far down we come down, I might or might not be able to get into the sale. So we'll just have to see. Just have to see. Do I not have to? Guess not. Alright, so we pull back to my major level here. You're using the web. Most people I've seen say they use the browser version after they tried the desktop. Got you. Makes sense. I want to know what all goes into like the data providers and the servers they provide and stuff, because I get that technology is never 100%, but I just feel like some of these data providers have so many issues so often. Like, I've had more issues with Rhythmic in the last 6 months than I did in 4.5 years with CQG and NinjaTrader on my personal account. As a matter of fact, I never had any issues ever in 4.5 years trading my personal account with CQG data with NinjaTrader. So I don't really get it at all, but I also don't know anyone who trades on a personal account with a Rhythmic connection at all. everyone I know uses NinjaTrader and CQG data, or like the NinjaTrader continuum or whatever. So I don't know. What I do not understand is why you keep providing such crappy service. That's also why at some point the goal is always to go back to a personal account. At some point. Especially when you know after you make so much money with a prop, they're gonna force you to go live anyway. I'm actually surprised that Apex doesn't force you to go live faster, but they also make so much more money than other props, so it makes sense. Because pushing people to live after they've profit $5,000 or $10,000 is crazy. It's crazy. All right, we got an hour left. Still slightly mad at myself for just not sleeping through this and not trading. But it's all good. I only had 3 setups today. I thought that there would be way more movement today with there being high impact news at 9, but not really. Not really. Dang. Curious to see what the sell is gonna do, because I feel confident in it except for this level that's right here. So I'm gonna sit out of it. I'm used to seeing this trade set up without that extra level there, so we'll see what happens. If it wins, it wins. It's whatever. As long as it doesn't stall here too long. If it stalls here too long, it's going to invalidate itself anyway. So I'm not sure. I would think it would work just like as it doesn't matter. Because with this setup, even if there was a VWAP right here that I was pushing back towards, I would be able to trade it. So let's see. Buyer pressure came in. Put that in. So we'll see what happens. Literally everything set up the way I want it besides that. So I might be right to not go and trade going back towards that. Not with this volume pattern at least. Yep, and it would have lost. would have lost. This is why some of my trades that's even going with the new trend, I just don't take them. I think, what was that? That was this kind of trade. That one wicked off of it. There was a lot of confluence with that one. This one was not. I still don't know how I want to take those though. Maybe that's when. Wait, why did I? Happened yesterday at 10:02. This same exact pattern set up yesterday at the same exact time. No, that's still less. I don't know. What's the music in the background? It sounds good. If you look in the description of the video, I have I think it's the direct link. If not, I'll post it. Just give me a second. Let's see. All right, that buy is gonna be invalid no matter what. I just so happened to find it on YouTube one day. And they actually have a lot of really nice music. And most of their videos are like long form videos. So if you look at the channel, is called The Relaxed Movement. Oh, have to find, let me look for on my computer for the actual file though, because I can tell you which video it is. Downloads. It's called 3 a.m. Neon Light Vibes. 12 hours of DMCA free lo-fi hip hop August edition. So look for 3 a.m. Neon Light Vibes, and it's a hip hop version. After I see what's up with this setup, then I'll look up the exact video for you. I'll post the link. That lag is something vicious, baby. My goodness. Come on, push back over the VWAP. It's probably not going to. Alright, let me look for this video for you. The days of low volatility just fucking suck. All right, the relaxed movement, 3 a.m. neon light vibes, hip hop. I am so glad I did not trade my other account today. All right, I'm pretty sure this is the video. I'll put it in the chat for you. Put it in the chat for you. Hopefully that worked. It should be clickable. That's the exact video. Now I can't tell you which portion that I have. I always play the same like 2-hour portion on the stream though. But I can't really tell you which one it is. But I kind of like scrolled until I heard a portion that I liked. What do I learn? A lot. Even though I've been negative a lot for the last however long I've been streaming, I'm still developing my strategy, you guys. So you're going to see negative days until I figure everything out fully. I'm a lot more confident in it coming into this week than I have been. However, this week just kind of can suck so far. Yeah, it just kind of is what it is, guys. I don't expect every day to be positive. I've always said that if I have a negative day, my goal is to keep it at 250 or below, which had I not missed the trade earlier this morning, trying to help some people on Facebook who were having issues with Rhythmic, because I'm always in help mode because I am a moderator for the Apex Discord. I would be around about 270, so I would be kind of at my goal loss, I guess you could say. I don't know, but yeah. You know, I was actually wondering if I wanted to do that. And now looking, I might. Let's see. Buy, sell, buy. We'll see. Let me look at yesterday for a second. There's so many patterns that you have to go through. Like my back testing, you guys, I went through like well over 400 trades to kind of look at things. However, there's certain setups that happen more than others. So you don't always get through all of the data that you want to get through, honestly. But I think that so that's a loss. That's fine. Alright, so I have a hunch. The last trade that I took, I've had this hunch since I came into this week. And after losing that trade, I feel like I can kind of solidify that as being a thing. But I'm going to look real quick. Because every time, most of the time when that sets up that way, it's either indecision that pops in right away where I have to hit the break even button, or the opposite pressure is going to come in where I have to hit the break even button. I didn't write that one down. Didn't write that one down either. That one broke even. That one I had to break even. So I'm pretty sure at this point I think I'm okay with taking that pattern out, because for me, if I'm going to break even or lose more than I'm going to be able to win it, then I'd rather just stay out. Like, there's the break even there. There's a break even. There's a break even. That one, when it set up, I had no chance to break even. There was nothing that told me to break even. This one I had to break even, and it would have been a loss if I didn't. This is why I have a physical journal. You can go back and look at stuff. Because the back test gave me like a hunch, but there wasn't enough times that this pattern happened where I felt comfortable solidifying the rule. But I'll go ahead and solidify it now. You only have to show me enough times. Like, if it's gonna consistently do that, why subject myself to that, you know? But this is why I like to remind you guys that I'm still developing things. So even though my back test is finished, there's still certain things I'm iffy about, and I won't know until I continue to trade it enough times. So I'm gonna make a note to myself. Then I'm gonna change it on my cheat sheet so I know. And it kind of makes sense why I need to look for this particular pattern. Excuse me. Makes a whole lot of sense. You're welcome, Rio. So far, let me scroll back. So far, let's see. Can I trade? All right, so let's see how this one sets up. But I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna end up solidifying that. What I do want to look at though is okay, so I do want to keep it at just that then. Okay, cool. No biggie. All right, I want to see how this ends up setting up. Got the middle pivot level, overnight high, then there's another resistance level like right here too. It's probably gonna push down before I want it to though. Let's see. All right, so I took what, 3 trades. The last one, I know for sure I won't get into anymore. The first one I know was fine. It just lost. Like the first trade that I got into that lost, I got stopped out. The reversal happened, but then right after it continued in the same exact direction and it would have been a break even. That happens to me sometimes. It's cool. Can't win everything. I never back tested before. Somebody told me I should, but I'd rather put it on real time and see if it works. And the market constantly changes, so I adapt my strategy. Well, lately I haven't, but I'm about to start back adjusting and just take what the market gives instead of trying to make the market give me what I want. Yeah, like, so there's different forms of back testing, right? You have some people who use like market replay data and they go back and just watch it replay how it did in real time. I personally cannot do that, okay? Because I don't have the patience. Like, it's already hard enough for me to sit here for 2.5 hours while I'm actually trading. There's absolutely no way that I can do that again to back test. Like, it's too much data to go through, right? So the other way is to just look through the history. So I put all my indicators on the chart that I normally would trade. I turn tick replay data on to make sure that the indicators are painting the way it did when tick by tick, you know, the market was painting. So that's what I do. That's the way that I back test. That is my preference for back testing. Yeah, I just can't. I can't. I can't do market replay. But if you have an indicator that repaints though, like the only thing that repaints for me is my zigzag, and it doesn't technically repaint because once that reversal bar closes, it's going to stay that way. But sometimes, like while I'm in the trade, it might look one way and then it might change to the opposite color while I'm in the trade. So that's the only bad thing about backtesting the way that I do, is I can't see what the zigzag looked like in real time. That's it. But that doesn't really affect my trading much. That's why I've been trying to figure out what adjustments I need to make to where I don't really have to hit the break even button as often. Like most of my setups now, if the zigzag changes while I'm in the trade, I just I stay in the trade. The only thing that I still will do is like if there's no zigzag attached at all to the the reversal bar or the first bar after a reversal, I will go ahead and break even then, because there's indecision. I shouldn't be in the trade at that point. So yeah. I still want to see that pattern that I just lost. I want to see it set up again, but it has not set up again yet. Yeah. Let's see. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Actually, I don't really like this buy. Only because the overnight high is right there, and I would probably just break even there or at the pivot level right there. So let's see what happens. Yeah, it would have just came down and hit my break even. There's that. Only because I know for sure I have to break even at the pivot levels. But yeah. But like you said, the markets are constantly changing. And as crazy as it sounds, that's why I'm trying to kind of perfect my strategy, because with me trading more volume based, I should be okay no matter what the market conditions are. It's just I have to finish finalizing stuff, that's all. Because I want to be able to, whether there's high volatility, low volatility, high volume, low volume, I still want to be able to get my 6 points out. Because even in a low volume or low volatility day, 6 points is not a lot. The only problem is because it has to go 10 points for the reversal first, now you're talking about 16 points total, which can be a lot depending on how the volume and volatility is for that day. But my goal is to figure out how to make it work. And the only reason why is because you can't really predict how the market's going to be. The market can show little to no volatility near the open and then just take off at 9 o'clock and just start trading as if the first 30 minutes were not trash. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to keep my wrinkle size, not have to change my stop loss and take profit and everything, especially because after, looking at different wrinkle settings, this is the one that makes the most sense. It makes the Nasdaq look the most smooth. So I kind of want to be able to stay there, but we'll see. I actually want to, there was one trade, I think it was, was it yesterday? $10.25 yesterday. Yeah, see, it was out. All right, so I think with the trade before last that I lost, I think the biggest thing with that particular setup is that I want to wait for it to clear. So let's see. Let me see if I can back up to it. All right. So was it this one? No, wrong trade. Wrong trade. It's here. So typically This setup is perfect for the reversal, even though it's counter trend. However, this level right here is where my minor trend changed from an uptrend to a downtrend, right? So we created the divergence, but we created the divergence to go back into this zone, because technically when it does this, this creates like a zone like that, if that makes sense. So because of that, I think that's the biggest change that I'll make with that particular setup. Where if it creates the divergence but it's inside of the zone like that, I just won't take it. Which, I mean, it makes sense. But in my back testing, it kind of was like a back and forth thing. What is extended to Monday? I think the 1 day pass is extended to Monday, you guys. Yeah, the 80% off in 1 day pass is now extended to March 4th. You guys should be getting emails very soon. My email just came through. Quite sure it's because of all the issues. Well, not all the issues, but yeah, the rhythmic issues that people had yesterday. And it's going to take time for them to restore everyone. So, you know, that kind of screws people a little bit. All right. Where is, because I moved the freaking, oh, the level's like way up there. Okay. So yeah, it looks like 2 out of my 3 losses will now be considered invalid trades. So we're moving in the right direction. We're moving in the right direction. Let me see. And I wonder if my other setup that's kind of like it is the same way. Major teacher. Let's see. Original, edit here. Yeah. Even here. Alright. Hold please. Oh, I don't go back towards the VWAP for that trade, so I'll keep looking. I'm looking through my Excel spreadsheet that I put my back test together with, because I want to see how many times I have in like my edited data. So like I have the original trades all up there, and then, you know, as I'm editing things, I make notes like, all right, if the chart looks like this, you know, that's a rule not to trade it. So then I take it out of the edited data. I take that whole line for the trade out. So I'm kind of looking through because I want to see how many times that happened where the entry is like back inside of the zone. Right, we didn't have a reversal. It looks like with the regular counter trend I can. WBB, which is weird. Well, no, I guess that does make sense. Let's see if that works. So I have like a different tab for if it's divergence and it's going in the direction of my overall trend bias, and then I have one where it's going opposite of my overall trend bias, because you have to treat those different. All right, so it looks like when it's opposite my trend bias, I can I can take the trades even if the entry is back inside of the zone. But when I'm going back in the direction of the trend, I cannot. What's just the major one? Oh, that's the original. Where's the edit? Original. Okay, so what's this? This is what I'm saying, where sometimes you go through so many trades, but you don't get all the data you need for every setup, which is fine. So it's really this one. Let me highlight that. Highlight it. That one doesn't count. We got rid of that. And I think when I looked, I think it was last week. March 4th is your B-Day? Happy early birthday, but I'll be streaming, so remind me. Wait, March 4th is I think March 4th was my parents' anniversary date. I think. Keyword was. Alright, let's see. Yep. Inside. Oh wait, no, that one was invalid anyway. Yeah, I think I'm okay with making that a rule because it doesn't happen often enough for me to care about sitting out of it. I'll just sit out, it's no big deal. Or at least maybe, well, yeah, I'd rather just sit out of it than try to say, well, if it wicks, then it's different. If it closes on the body, I want to make things as easy as possible as far as remembering things. So, yeah. So if anything, that lets me know that today could have been just a break-even day. With the first trade I took, and then the one trade that I missed. The other losses, the other two losses, I think we could have just prevented. And I want to make note of that too. So, gotta change my cheat sheets a little bit. And then I could deal with that. All right, and then the other one. All right, good to go. I do kind of want to get back to being able to trade like my normal setups, like that pullback to my middle level, like this would have been one of them, and it was literally a perfect setup, but I don't trade them anymore. I think I mentioned yesterday that I think the biggest thing is that I can't trade like divergence that happens between my minor and major levels, but I think just regular pullbacks should work. But that's probably something that I'll have to back test at some point, which I'm not going to do in this moment. But yeah, because pullbacks in the middle don't, well, I can't say they don't happen a lot because they do. Like, even, I think it was Friday, it happened like 3 times and they all won. I don't know how many times it happened today. I guess I could scroll back because I don't have anything setting up right now. So let's see. But I think it would need to be like this. I think the biggest piece of the puzzle I was missing with those pullbacks is that I want it to be in the direction of the overall trend bias, basically. I think that's the only time it's set up today, actually. Yeah. I don't know, because I can't tell where that one would have been, but yeah, I might just do that. We'll see. Okay, what's up with that lag? Alright, we got a 1 bar pullback here. Possibly. I don't feel like I put in, oh no. Your note for today is no pre-market. Listen, as long as you're learning, that's what matters most. Like, when you're losing or not getting the results that you want, but you're not learning from it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, legit, if you guys saw the number of notes that I have, just period, you would think I was insane, probably. But it's needed because I'm learning during the process. Like, there's no way I could put a strategy together and not be taking copious notes. Some of my notes are in Excel. Some of my notes are in a physical journal. Some of the notes are in my online journal, which I just started using again yesterday. But yeah, you got to figure out what works for you. If you know pre-market doesn't work for you, either because your strategy doesn't work well or you just don't even like being up around that time, get rid of it. I know some people who trade best like from 12 to 2 in the afternoon because they're not morning people. Their strategy still works in the afternoon, so that's what they prefer. You have to do what works for you, period. You just have to. What I'm actually hoping with this setup right now is that we get enough volume to be more than like this reversal bar, but not this one. Like, it's kind of in the middle of the two. That way I can see if my hunch is right. I'm pretty sure it is at this point. Like I said, it's gonna be a for sure rule at this point, based off of the last trade and just kind of looking through my journal. Sometimes it doesn't really take much to see the patterns. It's just, honestly, I wasn't even focused on that pattern at all. Literally at all. I was focused on other stuff. So I just wasn't really paying attention to it, really, if I'm being honest. But like I said, I kind of had a little hunch. Like I even, when I wrote in my journal, like as I was analyzing each thing, I even wrote that that might be a thing. But I just didn't look further into it. I was like, oh, we'll just wait to see what the market gives us, kind of thing. All right, the pattern didn't set up exactly how I wanted it to, so I can test it. But no, that was zigzag till bar 4. Then it was a change. Alright, so I wonder if... Okay, that doesn't count. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Nope. After no higher low, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That doesn't count either. Oh shoot. Alright, so we got a counter trend setting up. See what happens. Do we have enough steam to push is the question. Hello? Did the market just stall? Now I didn't used to trade when the like the overnight high or low went through the body of the entry candle. But in my back testing, I don't know if it mattered anymore. So hey, we take chances. See what happens. See what happens. Is that my minor level right now? Hopefully it doesn't reject. Don't be a whore. Actually, I don't know why my break even didn't move, but it should have. That's 22 ticks, right? Yeah. I just manually moved the stop to break even because it didn't do it on its own, and I don't know why. Alright, so we gotta win. And that is why I still take trades counter trend. It's just, you gotta get it all the way together first, which I don't all the way have, and that's okay. It's okay. So technically we should be up 1. I should be positive for the day at this point. That would have put me positive without those 2 losses that were a little iffy. So with this particular counter trend move, I actually don't even look for a certain volume pattern, to be honest. Thus far I don't really think the volume pattern matters. What matters most with this particular, so my overall bias is a downtrend. You can see that this is not a typical like lower low pattern for the divergence. It's a higher low, lower low, so it's a wee bit different. The only thing that matters for me with this setup is that there's a lower high here and a lower low. Had this been a higher low right here, I wouldn't have taken it. So with this counter trend, I like the previous swing and the current swing to be the same color, basically. And that's pretty much all I really care about. Now my minor level was right here. Had my minor level gone through the body of this reversal candle, that would have been a reason to look at the volume, but because it wicked off of it, volume didn't matter. Volume doesn't matter. All right. Open 90. That'd be wild. So this is going through the body. Make a note because I don't want to look at it later. That is the other thing that will sometimes not paint exactly is the order flow VWAP when I'm back testing. Like, but most of the time, if the price is like, if the candle, whether it's the wick or the body, is close enough to the VWAP, I can tell that it touched it. I just know that even when you put tick replay data on, it doesn't always paint the exact way. So like right here, the VWAP is going through the body of the candle. If I was to, like, tomorrow go and look back at this with tick replay data on, it's probably going to show that it went through the body, the wick of it. But little small nuances like that for the order flow VWAP doesn't matter because I trade going back towards it the same way, whether it's the body or the wick. So that part doesn't matter. All right, I wrote both of those down, but I want to write it in my notes. I'm like almost halfway through this journal and I just started it on what, the week of the 28th, so a month ago. All right, so needs to be now if that pushes further than that, which it might. Price pushes down right here. I'm not really interested in it. I want the entry to like clear this level, meaning close above that level right there. But also the middle VWAP level is there, so I would prefer for it to come up quite a bit before I felt comfortable. But anyway, all right. From now on, unless entry candle wicks off want to do, let's go back to back test data. Back test. Maybe just maybe. All right, let's see. And loss. Can we push some more? No, we're still stuck here. All right. I'm gonna go back and make notes of those. Oh wait. We're still in that same candle. There's 3,500 volume in that candle right there that just rejected off of the VWAP on the opposite side with the outside bar. All right, edit, original. You need to get a payout next month to reimburse yourself for your Bahamas trip at the end of next month. Get to it. Get to it. Ron Apex code. My Apex code is KeAmber. It's at the bottom of the screen. It's just my first name. And I thank you and appreciate you for using it. No, I don't think he wants to go to the Bahamas. I feel like, did he say the Bahamas? My friend's birthday is early April, so he wants to go out of the country for his birthday and kind of to celebrate. He just bought his first investment property, but I think he wants to wait because he doesn't want to like take any trips until the property is done with like all the updates and stuff that needs to go on. So yeah. All right, how do we want to do this? I feel like it always needs to be less than 962. Do we risk it? As long as we don't play around there for too long, I think I should be okay. But if we stay there too long, I won't be okay. Since we push it off the overnight low, it sounds really weird, but I only take sales going back to the overnight low and vice versa for the overnight high. As long as we don't need too much. If too much volume comes in, I'm gonna get out of it because I don't have a... Alright. No trade here. Because I don't know how I feel about needing so much volume to push back towards it. Because to me, that just means that, like, the move off of it was too strong. My trend bias is still a downtrend. So, cool with taking it, but I wanted less volume to be there. You're welcome, Ron. Thank you. My friend convinced me they're super thirsty, but I pay these 3 evals and get a payout. Yeah, you could consider it a celebration. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. I have a lot to catch up on financially once I, start getting payouts and stuff, only because I made the decision to focus on this and just not work as a nurse at the moment. I wouldn't suggest anyone do that. I was kind of forced into it, but then it was like, okay, well, then I just won't look for jobs right now. It's no big deal, whatever. But I would be able to, even just with the 5 accounts that I have right now, I would be able to pay myself back all the money that I've spent out of savings after, like, I don't know, maybe like 3 payouts. But of course, once I pass my first eval, then I'll add another account, that kind of thing. I want to keep it at 5 until I pass. Then I'll just continue adding from there. And yeah, just leave it at that. But I'm going to celebrate at some point. At some point, before I even pay myself back all of the money, I'm going to put a certain amount off to the side specifically to celebrate. I don't care if I go on a trip. I don't care if I go to a nice, super fancy restaurant that I would normally not even spend money on, but I just want to do it just because I'm celebrating. Like, I'm that type of person. I just need to, this has been a journey, and it's been a journey that's made me want to punch walls, punch my monitor, throw my laptop, everything you could possibly think of. So we need to celebrate, okay? And I'm just one of those people, where I feel like life is so short. You should be celebrating your wins, because you just never know if that's going to be the last win that you celebrate, you know what I mean? And one thing that I learned from, I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. I always forget his name, but he created the profit first system, right? And I wish I would have seen the video for that years ago when I was heavy into business. But one of the things that he talks about, when you have a traditional business, which I feel like can also kind of correlate with this whole trading and on your trading journey, especially with prop firms. He talks about how with traditional business, you always worry about your bottom number. You're always making sure that your invoices are paid and all these other things, right? And what you end up doing as the business owner is you end up kind of screwing yourself because everybody gets paid before you. And honestly, you can think about it even from a traditional job. When you work, the first thing you do is you look at what you take home, you look at all the bills that you have to pay, and then you look at what's left over after, right? And so he talks about how in traditional business, you have to stop doing that. So he basically breaks down how you need 5 accounts. You want, I think it's 3 of them to be checking accounts, 2 to be savings accounts, if I'm not mistaken. You'll have to go. He has a long form video that I can post. But he talks about how you have to pay yourself first, because the best employee in your business is always you. When you ask business owners who their best employee is, they almost always say anyone outside of themselves, even though you're the person who's been sacrificing. You're the person who had to, whether it was sacrificing time, energy, effort, money, you were the one who had to do all this sacrificing to create those opportunities for your employees. However, you're always paying yourself last after you pay your employees, your bills, whatever. And so with him setting up the 5 accounts, one of them is, of course, for your own salary, but then one of them also is like an account where you put a certain percentage off to the side every month, and then every quarter you pay yourself like probably half of what's in there, just as like an extra compensation. And so, even when it comes to trading, even though people are taking payouts, yes, a lot of people are trying to transition to this being a full-time income, which I think is great, because I feel like when you can master trading, you are going to be able to pay yourself more than any job ever could, probably any other kind of business could, especially in such a short period of time. So while, yes, you are taking payouts to pay bills, to pay debt off and stuff like that, you have to be able to keep some of that to celebrate your wins, whether, like you say, you're going on a trip, whether you're going to a fancy restaurant, maybe buying a pair of shoes that you would normally not spend that much money on. Now, I can tell you guys, you would probably never see me spend money on anything except electronics, food, and travel, because I'm all about experiences and I'm not a materialistic person. Like, I'm not going to be buying like these expensive brands as far as shoes and purses. I don't even carry purses, but clothes and stuff like that. That's just not me. That's not the way I celebrate. But I will go get me a $70 steak that melts in my mouth. I absolutely will. I will. But yeah, so we're done with the trading day, you guys. Let me show you guys the accounts so you can see the trailing drawdown on them. And like I said, these accounts are kind of like a whatever, because they're all going to be gone by next Friday anyway, purposely, no matter what. Let me zoom on in. First, try to make money from one account. That's a choice, Hans. I'm not against that. I think it depends on the person, and also, yeah, it just depends. Like for me, it makes no sense for me to just do it with one account, because by the time I get to a PA, I've figured out my edge, I figured out my strategy, and all of those things. So it would make no sense for me to limit myself to one account if I can trade the exact same way on multiple accounts. I'm not going to go past 5 initially. Absolutely not. That doesn't make sense. Because I'd rather just keep the accounts, the 5 that I have right now. But if you're somebody who like YOLO'd, or you kind of got lucky because you don't even really have a set strategy yet, and then you get to PA, absolutely you should work on one account first. But you have to understand that I've been in this process for a while of developing my strategy, so I would never limit myself to just one account. That doesn't make sense. And I also have been trading for a while. I'm just now trying to figure out the best way for me to scalp, because I don't like intraday swinging anymore. Like Nip said, I went through every emotion with this. I just did not quit. Exactly. This has been long. It's a long, hard journey. And I've never been one to try to shortcut the journey, which is why it's taken me so long. Because I don't want to shortcut it. I feel like if you're building on a solid foundation, you're building something that can last. Think about all of these people, right? When the network marketing version of learning how to trade was a really popular thing. It's still out there, but not how it is now. Think about all the people who tried to shortcut, or people who buy signals. Like, I've never been interested in signals, because I feel like you're not teaching me anything. I'm just buying and selling because you tell me to. But what if I don't really like your signals that much? Or what if I can do something that's even more profitable for myself? And then on top of that, what if I base my whole entire lifestyle off of some signals, and within 2 years, the person who's providing the signals die? Now I'm gone back to how I was before those 2 years, simply because I never learned how to trade myself. Like, there's so many ways to shortcut the journey. YOLOing. I see a lot of people who pass accounts simply because they're YOLOing and then they're going through PAs like crazy. I just saw someone, I think it was yesterday, that said that, I think it was in the comment section of a YouTuber's video. Pretty sure I saw someone say they've gone through like 300 evals. That's insane. They didn't say how many PAs, but I feel like, I don't even know if they have gotten to a PA yet. I'm not sure. But there's so many people that are trying to shortcut. And while you might get lucky with the shortcut, it's not a smart thing to do because the market's not going anywhere, you guys. Like, your job can go somewhere tomorrow. You could be fired, you could be laid off, the company could close, whatever. The markets are literally always going to be here. So for me, I rather take the time to study and understand it and learn it. And, when I first started trading, prop firms were not a thing. Not these versions of prop firms. The real, versions of prop firms were, but this was not a thing. So why wouldn't I want to leverage the ability to trade sim and make money off multiple accounts if I have the opportunity to, and if I'm developing a strategy that makes sense for me to be able to do it? Absolutely, I'm going to take advantage. Why the hell not? Why wouldn't I? Oh yeah, Rio, I'm gonna do me. I am. Because for me, it's like, okay, let's say all of these I convert to PA around the same period of time. And let's say I don't even get to a payout. The only thing I lost was time. And it just means that I need to go back to the drawing board with my strategy, which is cool. But like I said, I feel like by the time I get there, I should be set because I've spent a lot of time and energy doing this. Dude at your job lost 50K in one day. He don't trade anymore. He makes about $800 a day on his job. He got wrecked out the market and quit. Oh man, let me tell you something. I lose 50K in one day, I'll probably go back to my $800 a day with my job too. That's rough. That is very rough. But it's like, sometimes you have to learn from that lesson because losing 50K in one day is insane. You were probably over leveraging. I mean, there's all kind of things where you trade in news or some like super high volatile market. There's something that you can learn out of that. And I get the whole quitting thing because, like I've told you guys, I've been trading off and on for 10 years. 10. I started when Q Banks and Jarrell Cox and all of the Jarrell Cox is not really that popular, but Q Banks is. I started in the same group of, we were all in a network marketing company together, and the network marketing company was going down, and we kind of knew it. And so that's when a lot of them started looking into trading. I don't know who like really introduced them to trading or if it was something that popped up on social media for them. I have no clue. But there were no like trading MLMs or anything back then. But it was more often on for me because, like the guy at your job, I would just have a really rough streak. I would be doing so well, have a really rough streak, and just quit. Because for me, I am not going to sit here and stress myself out when I can go make $40+ an hour as a nurse. I'm not doing a whole lot of laborious work because I was working in psych. Okay, so I would come in. My day consisted of coming in, getting report, passing meds, and I worked overnight. So after I passed meds, within a couple hours, these people are asleep the entire night. We wake them up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm out the door by 7:30. So I didn't have a hard job at all, right? So it's like, these people are stressing me out. Yeah, my job stresses me out too, but this is guaranteed money and I don't have to want to throw my laptop. So I'll go back to my job. Screw this shit. That was my thought process. But let me tell you something. I would have definitely reached my goals years ago had I not quit though. So it's like, in the back of my mind, I always knew I was never going to retire from nursing. That's why I did not go back and further my education. I was a scholar athlete, okay? I had judges and lawyers willing to pay my way through medical school, okay? I decided not to do it because I knew that I was not going to be working for the rest of my life. So why put all of that money into school to get into a career that I know I'm not going to work until I die? I'm not doing it. I'm not. So because I always knew that I was not going to want to do that, why go be a nurse practitioner or a nurse anesthetist is what I really wanted to do, which is a nurse version of an anesthesiologist. Buku money, okay? But part of me didn't do it because number one, I don't like anybody's life in my hands like that. That's why I never wanted to work in the ER. I never wanted to feel like somebody died because I didn't all the way do my job or I made a wrong calculation. No. So yeah, like I always knew that trading was going to be the way at some point, but I just kept pushing my own success off, which sucks because now here it is. I'm about to be in my mid 30s and it's like I could have done all of this legit like 5 years ago. But when you quit for a year at a time, year and a half at a time, 6 months at a time, of course your journey is going to be delayed. Crazy. But that's also why I've seen probably the most progress, I would say, since like September of last year. That's when I closed my credit repair business so that I can just completely focus. Because again, even with my credit repair business, I know I wasn't going to do that forever. Them people drive you crazy. Why would I let somebody drive me crazy that's paying me $100 a month when I could sit here on the charts and make more than $100 a month? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. But it just is what it is. And yes, Rio, doctors make a lot of mistakes. And I have to remind people, it's the practice of medicine. The practice. That's why you can't always rely on your doctor. I've been in healthcare for well over 10 years. I've really been in healthcare since I was in high school, which I graduated from high school 17 years ago. Damn, that's a long time. 17 years ago, right? Not to say that doctors don't know a lot, but you have to understand, like the body is a very complicated structure. And you are cramming all the things that you learn about the body into a couple of years. And the reason why I say a couple of years is because even though medicine has been out for this long, healthcare, we still don't know everything about the body. So you can't always trust a doctor's judgment. Hopefully you have a doctor that gives you the right judgment, but it's always the practice of medicine. I don't like healthcare. I don't like Western medicine in any way, shape, or form. For me, draw my blood, tell me what's going on with my blood, take my vitals, make sure I don't have high blood pressure. If I need x-rays, MRIs, all of that stuff, cool, so that I can know what my diagnosis is. But alternative medicine will almost always be my go-to personally. But yeah, there's a lot of mistakes that they make. And because of insurance and things like that, they're always going to be protected. You know what I mean? And for me, like, I just never wanted that on my hands. I wanted to go into the ICU, like, out of nursing school, but I did my 160 hour, I think, practicum my senior year of nursing school in the ICU. I did children's cardiac ICU. That was very hard. Seeing little kids that sick. Like, I saw one kid on what's called an ECMO machine at 6 months old. And ECMO is basically, like, you have this one machine that's pumping like the lungs. Then you have this one machine over here that's pumping like the heart. And it's basically taking the blood out of the body, putting it through these machines and putting it back in. And to see a 6-month-old inside of the middle of the room and have so many machines around them that you can't even see the child. No. So then I was in the adult units, and my very first day in my practicum, my preceptor's walking me around, just showing me where things are. There's a code blue. And so he's like, all right, code blue, you gotta go. And I'm like, huh, what? Me go over there? Yeah, you need to help with CPR. Me? No, that's what I gotta do over here. I can't do it. So he was like, all right, well, you could just sit there and watch the first time, but when it happens again, you're gonna definitely have to help. To hear someone's ribs cracking under somebody's hands, number one, no. Number two, it freaked me out because the guy's eyes were open the whole time. That was creepy. And then that same person coded like 4 times in like a 2-hour, 2.5-hour time span. And the family was like really selfish, you know, hey, my brother's on his way. Can you keep? And finally, after the last time, the doctor was like, look, there's nothing we could do for this guy. He has too much, he was septic. So the bacteria in his blood was creating such an acidic environment that he was not going to survive. So whenever that happens, they pump what's called bicarb, which is an alkaline substance, into the body to try to alkalize. And they were doing all these things plus CPR. It just was not working. And I knew at that moment, it was so many times like I'm there for a couple of days. I come back the next week, my patient has died. Like, healthcare does not. And that's why I prefer to work in psych, because in psych, I don't have to worry about things like that. Like for most psych, especially like in a hospital, you have to be medically stable. A lot of programs, you can't even be in a wheelchair. Like, you can't have IVs attached to you, like nothing. So, but yeah, I had a nice career. I've been a nurse for like 12 years now, but I just know it's not for me long term. The people will drive you insane. And that is why trading is going to be my focus. It's going to take me time to get where I want to get to, but it's going to be worth more than any journey I've ever been on. And I know that for sure. But anyway, long rant. That's the account that we didn't trade today. Again, I'm glad that I didn't. But yeah, these accounts will all be gone by next Friday. So it kind of is what it is no matter what. This one I'm going to purposely blow, not tomorrow, but Thursday. This one will purposely blow on Monday. This one will purposely blow next Thursday, I think, or maybe Friday, because it might actually renew on Saturday. I'm not sure. But that's just where we are. I am going to get back to trading this account tomorrow. Hopefully we have better price action tomorrow. Let's see, Wednesday, there's no news well, there's 2 light impact news events, 9:30 and 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market's not the best. But today, I mean, I got back to my 250 max loss that I would prefer. Just, extra $20 on top of it, but that's cool. And then, like I said, with the few adjustments that I'll be making, the 2 out of the 3 losses that I had today won't even be a thing. So I'm not worried about it at all. And we'll just leave it at that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye, guys. If I can get off. I can't even get off the stream, you guys. It doesn't want me to. I don't even have a mouse right now. All right, there we go. All right, for real this time. Bye, y'all.